Hello there, it is time for Global Business on CGTN. Welcome, I'm Lincoln Humphreys. Here are the headlines. Box office boom. China's summer movie takings crossed the US billion-dollar mark as an animated blockbuster and trending travel destinations drive spending across the country. Shopping swap. The tables have turned on global retail as international visitors now snap up Chinese products, with Beijing reporting a staggering 567% jump in tax refund claims. And tariff battle. 25 US states are taking the Trump administration to court over sweeping tariffs on 60 trading partners, seeking to halt the levies and recover duties already paid. First, a look at the Chinese mainland markets for you now. Equities closed higher this Tuesday. The Shanghai Composite gained just over 0.3%, while the Shenzhen Component jumped at 3.25%. Now we'll look at those regional markets and how Wall Street closed overnight. China's summer box office is heating up in a big way. As of early August, cumulative revenues, including pre-sales, have reached 7.5 billion yuan, or roughly $1.1 billion US dollars, according to figures from Beacon Pro and Alibaba-backed movie information platform. The season has now posted average daily grosses above 100 million yuan for 24 consecutive days. More than 120 titles have hit theatres, spanning historical epics, comedies, action flicks, animations and sci-fi blockbusters. That diverse lineup points to one clear trend. Supply is booming and audiences are hungry for more. Among all the films in China's blockbuster summer season, one title stands out in particular, the animated feature All Wishes Come True. As of August 4, the film has generated more than 1.2 billion yuan at the box office. It's also sparked a surge of tourism to Shanxi province's Yongle hometown of Liu Dongbin, one of the 8 immortals. Yongle Palace draws 4,000 visitors daily, up more than 20% from June. Movie fans wander through its halls, comparing murals with scenes from the film. The palace is China's largest and best preserved Taoist temple complex. It houses more than 1,000 square metres of Yuan Dynasty murals, considered the world's largest surviving collection of ancient Taoist fresco art. Southwest China's scenic Dali has always been a haven for travellers, but now is becoming a home base for a new generation of remote workers. Gone are the cubicles and commutes, in their place co-living spaces, mountain views and a lifestyle that blurs the line between vacation and vocation. Aaron Liu takes us inside Dali's digital nomad movement.
This is Dali. Every summer is its busiest tourist season.
Famous for its stunning Tangshan Mountain and Erhai Lake views, Dali has long been a top travel destination. But now it is evolving into a magnet for a new generation of young professionals who work online and live on the road. This summer, I'm diving deep into the booming digital nomad lifestyle.
Look at all these motorbikes parked here. They're one of the main ways to get around in Dali. This is one of Dali's most popular digital nomadic communities. It's both a hostel and a co-working space.
My first stop is NCC, one of Dali's earliest and most established co-living communities for remote workers.
You can write your self-introduction on your room door. Through the window, you can see Dali Ancient Town.
Rooms are extremely in demand during the summer peak. Staying in this balcony room with panoramic views of the mountain and ancient town, it's easy to see why remote workers flock here for long-term stays. By the way, this bed is very comfortable. After checking, the host shows me around. Unlike ordinary homestays that target short-term tourists, NCC runs on a completely different business model.
These are posters of our events. We hold regular activities every month. These are photos from past events. So many wonderful memories. We enforce a minimum 7-day booking policy. We don't serve casual travelers. All our residents are full-time remote workers, freelancers, and independent entrepreneurs. People come here not just for a place to stay. They come for connections with like-minded peers, cross-industry exchanges, and regular community events. Social connection is a core part of the nomad experience.
The community operates its own mini program, covering room reservations, event signups, and even talent and project matching. This digital tool keeps the community running efficiently amid high resident turnover. Beyond the community model, what makes Dali special is the diverse group of nomads it attracts, from all corners of the country and all walks of life.
I'm from Shenzhen, working in cross-border e-commerce and overseas services. This is my first time experiencing the digital nomad life in Dali.
My work is fully remote, so I can work from anywhere. We wanted to step away from the fast-paced city life, and Dali's climate and community culture made it the perfect choice.
The pair planned a 10-day stay, balancing work with local exploration. For them, the biggest takeaway has been cross-industry inspiration.
I joined a community sharing session on AI short drama production. Meeting people from different industries has given me brand new perspectives and ideas for my own business.
As the sun sets over Erhai Lake, the workday winds down and Dali's relaxed evening vibe takes over. What started as a small lifestyle trend is growing into a broader movement. And Dali, with its unique charm, is leading the way as China's top digital nomad destination. Aaron Liu, CGTN, Dali, Yunnan Province.
For some deeper insights into China's summer spending trends, I'd like to bring in Jin Yu-chen, Vice President of Shanghai Jinqiao College. Thank you very much for joining us. Good to see you through the screen. So how do consumer spending patterns differ between the short check-in trips and these longer stays? And as the length of stay increases, which specific spending categories are newly unlocked or seeing the greatest expansion?
Thanks for having me. Great to see you, Lincoln. That's a great question. I think the difference is very clear. I think shorter trips monetize attractions, while longer stays monetize everyday life. So that's the main difference. And if you think about from an economic standpoint, shorter trips, the spendings mostly occur at attractions, and so it's basically scenic sites and the restaurants and hotels that benefit from these consumption scenarios. While longer stays, you can basically see consumption taking place everywhere. It'll be more related to businesses other than food, restaurant, or lodging. So it's basically an overall consumption game being played here, and it's basically the per day consumption is definitely harder for shorter trips. So the per day spending is obviously higher for shorter trips. But then if you take the congregate number, the longer stays definitely provide a more sustainable and more visible kind of spending, and kind of boosts the consumption overall, and helps the local economy for the longer term. And so clearly we're seeing, this trend of, longer stays, and that's definitely benefiting the local economy, and the specific industries being benefiting from this trend is really, there are a lot of industries that are benefiting from this latest trend, other than food and hotel stays.
So beyond natural scenery and perhaps big ticket attractions, what key factors make a destination function less like a tourist site and more like a temporary living space, like what we saw there in Dali with the digital nomads? Are we witnessing tourism evolve into something closer to a lifestyle or residential service industry?
Absolutely. I think Dali is a great example of that, right? I mean, as the video mentioned, I think number one is the natural scenery. That's a given, right? Beautiful scenery. And number two is really livability, whether someone can really picture him or herself living in that town for over a month. And that really boils down to convenience, livability, affordability, and the sense of community. I mean, these are all very important factors that play into this. And in today's day and age, it's also very important to establish a well-established delivery system there. And obviously, here in China, delivery is very important, and delivery is usually very fast. So it really boils down to the infrastructure and the technology be involved. So these are all very, very important factors. And for a freelancer or someone, working remotely, technology is very important. And also the AI support is also important, the speed of the internet and everything. And so these are all very important factors that play into this. And obviously, we've seen places in Dali doing really well because the infrastructure has been built and the community is already there, and people can meet other people from all walks of life, and that's a great sense of community. So it's both the infrastructure and the sense of community that really matter.
Perhaps a temporary global business studio in Dali or on the beach. I'll talk to management about that. But now on to the box office, the film industry. Last summer, a domestic film significantly outperformed all box office expectations. What does this success reveal about changing audience preferences in China, and how should it influence future investment strategies in China's film and television sector?
Yes, China is now one of the largest, arguably the largest box office market in the world right now, and domestic films are doing really well. Last year, we saw movies like Dead to Rights doing really well in the domestic market and abroad. And stories like that really resonate with the domestic audience. That's really important because for these domestic movies to succeed both domestically and internationally, the stories have to be authentic. They have to, they have to resonate with the collective memory. That's very important. And Dead to Rights did just that. And it was a very important movie, a very monumental movie in the Chinese movie industry. And this year, we're seeing more Chinese movies doing really well, both domestically and internationally, and competing against some of the foreign movies. I mean, from a consumption perspective, obviously, it's not a zero-sum game. I think China welcomes, our works from around the world, and it's really a very dynamic market here domestically. And I think we're seeing directors and also movie producers increasingly drawing inspirations from ancient history and culturally Chinese items. And obviously, I always want to say that we're sitting on a gold mine here because China has such a long history and 5,000 years of continuous civilization, and that's a very important starting point. And this gold mine keeps feeding us with all kinds of inspirations and stories.
Thank you very much, Jinyu Chen. Appreciate your insight with us today as Vice President of Shanghai Jinqiao College.
Thank you.
You're watching Global Business. Coming up next. Shopping swap. The tables have turned on global retail as international visitors now snap up Chinese products. Beijing reporting a staggering 567% jump in tax refund claims.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
China's inbound tourism has continued to rise this year, fueled by diverse cultural experiences and tax refund perks such as instant rebates. Beijing's border checkpoints have seen steady high passenger flows since June, with total crossings surpassing 10 million in the first half of 2026, a year-on-year increase of about 10%. Sightseeing, business exchanges and family visits remain the top reasons for entry. Wu Qiang has the story.
Customs data from Beijing shows a surge in tourist spending, with the city processing over 110,000 tax refund applications in the first half of 2026, a staggering 567.7% jump year-on-year. Total sales of duty-free goods exceeded 900 million yuan, up nearly 50%. Since the start of summer, European and American visitors have been increasingly choosing family-based self-guided tours thanks to visa waiver policies and easier mobile payment.
No con un grupo turístico, venimos solos nosotros.
We didn't join a tour group, we traveled independently. Everything is fine. There are all kinds of apps so we can book rides easily. The hotel is comfortable and the staff are very helpful.
At Beijing Silk Street Market, foot traffic from overseas shoppers has jumped eightfold compared to the same period last year, according to the mall's management. Top-selling items include electronics and summer gadgets, like smart fans.
Up to now this year, the number of foreign visitors to our market has grown by 800% from last year. Products like electronics and cooling devices, smart fans, for example, are hot sellers.
From traditional souvenirs like silk and tea to smart devices and tech products, the expansion of tax refund and payment convenience is making shopping in China easier than ever for international travelers.
We can also put the cards on your phone, so it's easy and you don't have to worry about any extra change or anything. So very straightforward.
This year, the Ministry of Commerce, together with the Ministry of Finance and the State Taxation Administration, issued new measures to enhance the departure tax refund process and boosting inbound consumption. In Beijing, supporting services including instant tax rebates and cross-border mobile payments have been continuously upgraded. The city now operates 7 centralized refund counters, 51 instant refund stores, and over 1,600 tax refund outlets, with each transaction now completed in under 2 minutes.
Well, the main thing we're looking at is silk. We're also looking at different pottery, antiques, things like that. That as well to gift to people.
We bought some sunglasses. We bought jewelry, some silk scarves, tea sets.
Wu Qiang, CGTN in Beijing.
For some extra insight into China's inbound tourism boom, I'd like to bring in Wang Rei, Associate Professor of Marketing at the Guanghua School of Management, Peking University. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. So Chinese consumers once sought European and American products, say, through overseas shopping. Now, reverse overseas shopping, if you will, or foreign consumers buying Chinese goods is rapidly gaining traction. How should we interpret this growing global appeal of Chinese products?
Thanks for having me, Lincoln. So we actually see from the videos that, they are starting to buy more stuff other than silk, teapots, these traditional Chinese products. So smartphones and technology devices, and also some smart fan products are very popular among these tourists, consumers. That actually shows that, the made in China concept has bring kind of a shift from traditionally as a traditional Chinese products, and also probably has the label for cheap and very basic functions, and now into more tech, functions, high tech, smart designs. And also, I think from the video, we also said these kind of, mobile payment and also tax refunds. These policies also bring the facilities for the tourism. They tend to buy more stuff other than these traditional Chinese products. The other thing I would mention is the social media, the e-commerce platform that brings the information. So these people actually travel to China maybe for the first time, but they already know some good part about the Chinese products from the TikTok or Instagram, from all these kind of e-commerce or social media apps. So they actually already know the new Chinese products, how good they are. So I think that's all bring together. We are seeing the shift about the foreign tourism by a lot of Chinese products nowadays in China.
And what distinctive strengths make Chinese products increasingly attractive to overseas consumers in today's very much global market?
Well, that's a good question. So first of all, to answer your question, I think we have a very complete and agile supply chain. That basically means the Chinese manufacturing not only stands for like a price advantage, but also the stand for flexibility advantage. So, for example, now the summer is hot everywhere globally. So we have seen the popularity of the Chinese-made, like the portable air conditioner, quite popular in Europe and also other countries and regions. So that kind of a flexible design, and with together these kind of agile manufacturing supply chain behind, that actually brings the Chinese products quite popular nowadays. But having said so, also associated with your first question, I would say also we see Chinese travel abroad. They still are also buying the other products abroad. So basically, these mutual exchange, a lot of online and offline. So I would say that's really a good example of the openness of the free trade, and also the travel things global-wise. So not just to say the Chinese products are getting not only popularity among foreign consumers, but also we are seeing the other foreign products also getting popular among Chinese and other countries and regions as well. Yeah.
So which sectors, you mentioned smartphones and tech there earlier, are leading this trend, and what product categories or perhaps consumer needs are driving the momentum?
Well, it gave a very good example. So we have seen from the video and also through our conversation, these high-tech products like smartphones, the drones, and also the scooters, and also like the small, these kind of, smart fan hats are getting popular. So these are kind of, with high technology elements, these kind of products are really getting popular. And they are not only good in terms of the high-tech functions, but also they are really good in price. That's one sectors we're seeing super popularity, not only for foreigners buying products in China, but we also, if we check the export data, that is showing the export also increasing in these kind of sectors. The other thing is also we are seeing the rise of the Chinese design products. So a very famous brand called Pop Mart. So this is kind of smart design in terms of the Chinese toys. And they are getting popularity not only in China but also overseas as well, giving their 40% of the revenue coming overseas. And we also see some leather bag, the other kind of a Chinese design products also getting popular among these travelers. The lastly, I would say the experience, especially when travelers not only travel in groups, they want to travel independently. So they want to experience some Chinese lifestyle. So we have seen some in Shanghai. There is one shop selling these milk tea called Mocha Wang. They are getting quite popular and viral on social media. That basically shows, and also some Chinese noodle, mahjong noodle. These are also getting some popular among these among foreign consumers. So basically shows these kind of Chinese lifestyle experience products and also services getting popular. These kind of a sector also associated with the tourism industry as well.
Thank you very much, Wang Ray. Some good ideas for presents for me to take back home. She's Associate Professor of Marketing at the Guanghua School of Management, Peking University. Thank you. From bustling Huaihai Road in Shanghai to trending feeds on social media, a new wave of international tourists is reshaping China's retail landscape. Armed with digital shopping lists and empty suitcases, visitors are flocking to the city's premier 2.2-kilometre shopping stretch in search of hard-to-find domestic brands. Zhang Shixuan reports on how relaxed visa regulations are turning sightseers into serious shoppers, giving local consumer spending a significant boost.
Found the coolest sneakers walking around Shanghai.
Here's the thing about Shanghai right now. Spend any time scrolling through social media, and you're increasingly likely to see it. Your friends are posting about it, and if you're not here, you may feel like you're missing out.
For Instagram?
A lot on my page in my phone, like TikTok, Instagram.
We see Instagram. And we come for this center only for buy this.
From social media, I've seen on Instagram, on Xiaohongshu.
Also, you're a follower of Pain.
Yeah.
You also have 18 other brands.
Yeah.
Yes. It's popular in Thailand.
TikTok, Instagram, Xiaohongshu, the same answer keeps coming up again and again.
I'm from Indonesia.
Russia. Bangkok, Thailand. Singapore.
United States.
California. New York.
I'm from Indonesia.
I'm from Singapore. I'm from Thailand.
So, what exactly is on their shopping list today? Spoiler alert, it may not be what you think.
Sunglasses, purses, accessories.
Maybe this one, this one, and maybe one more.
Clothes, bags, sunglasses. We saw some cool sunglasses.
Hopefully a new purse.
Yeah. Me shoes, maybe. We bought a lot of small trinkets and then pants from Solomon.
And new,
yes, we got these recently.
We're matching.
The toys?
Yes.
I got a t-shirt.
What's in your bag? 2 shoes.
Very beautiful one, red and white one.
They're finding these brands on their phones, sometimes from half a world away.
I actually found it on TikTok, and then I ordered one when I was in New York. I waited a while, and now I'm in Shanghai, and I said, why not check it out?
And once they arrive in Shanghai, they come looking for the stores.
This 2.2-kilometer stretch is the Huaihai Road shopping area. This street is lined with plane trees and historic facades. Some of these buildings are among Shanghai's most iconic.
Standing here, you're surrounded by people who have traveled from across Asia and beyond. They're not just here to do some sightseeing and take photos of the city's skylines. They're here to do some serious shopping.
It's making my wallet hurt.
Literally just shopping, eating today, and then maybe some museum stuff tomorrow, but just shopping for today.
This is the queue outside the Chinese sneaker brand called Pain on a regular afternoon.
Buy some shoes. Nowadays, one of the most popular brands in Asia.
Local labels like this are becoming part of the Shanghai souvenir list, although these are souvenirs designed to be worn.
I think we will be the most beautiful and fashionable ladies in our city.
Beautiful.
Thai people like this because we have to pre-order this shoe.
Yesterday I buy 5, and today my mom buy 1. I wear it to Disneyland yesterday.
I saw it in the window, and I was like, I need that bag.
I visited 4 brands along the street. At some stores, managers say international shoppers can account for around half or more of customer traffic during their busiest periods.
International customers make up 80% of our weekend traffic. The average transaction is around 1,000 yuan or more. Their favorite styles are the runway pieces and leather goods.
We get about 1,600 visitors on average. At peak times, 50% are international. Most of them buy at least 2 pairs.
Our biggest single order was 20,000 yuan from one customer. He was buying gifts for his family. The conversion rate is high, and besides bags, they also love to pick out bag charms to mix and match.
Store managers say international customer numbers began climbing in the second half of last year and accelerated this year, helped by China's expanded visa-free and transit visa-free policies.
For the most part, say, for example, we go to New York City, you'll have like certain sections with shopping, but over here, you go from one place to another, it's a whole different experience. Then you go to like a different neighborhood, and it's like, again, shopping malls and different stores. So that part I like. You go to different places and it's different, and a lot of cafes. Love the coffee scene here.
The difference in architecture, there's like Shanghai only brands here too.
Yeah, the independent designers are like really nice. I feel like we have less
less independent designers, and when we shop, we just shop at like the big brands or go thrifting in California.
It's so different and unique, and I'm just loving all the different things that, you know, Shanghai and just China has to offer.
So I think it's more, you know, like modern and sleek looking. So I just like that it's not everywhere in the U.S. and it's a bit more of a rare find.
The style and the design and architecture of everything is just done so much more beautifully, in my opinion. I think everything feels very grand here, which I don't really feel in Singapore. But I think a lot of effort was put into the design of like the stores, and yeah, I think that's something that's very unique about Shanghai.
This is Shanghai, and the world is shopping. 张世璇, SMG International for CGTN Shanghai.
China's diverse summer landscapes are drawing in more international travellers looking to escape the heat. From alpine forests and highland cities to dramatic mountain scenery, cooler destinations across the country are seeing a surge in inbound tourism. Since June, China's high-altitude destinations have led the country's inbound travel growth. Among the biggest draws are Changbai Mountain, where foreign visitor numbers have climbed 38% since July. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in central China's Hunan province, known for its stunning mountains, is welcoming more tourists this year. One in particular, the Tianmen Mountain, has become a major draw, receiving around 15,000 visitors every day. International tourists account for about 15% of the total. Southwest China's Kunming in Yunnan province is also attracting visitors with its mild climate. From January to May, Kunming received nearly 696,000 inbound visitors. That's up 25.27% from a year earlier. The surge highlights the city's growing appeal as one of China's leading summer destinations for overseas travellers. China's scenic areas with mild climate are introducing heart-pumping adventures that are proving to be a big hit with international travellers. Mist-shrouded mountain landscapes and ancient villages in East China's Jiangxi province have long been a draw, but foreign tourists are venturing deep into the Wuyi Mountains to ride the cliffside train and go whitewater rafting. That's a great way to cool down. Neighbouring Zhejiang province takes the thrill up a notch with extreme sports from mountain karting to paragliding. Overseas visitors say the exhilarating experiences help them beat that summer heat.
It's amazing. Even with this heat, the views are stunning and we get to raft. Totally worth it. Who'd have thought that a homebody like me could suddenly have this experience? Big thanks to my friend for bringing me here. I'm loving it.
I've never been anywhere this gorgeous. The air is so fresh. We like it here so much.
I'm so excited, yeah, because it's so much fun. And also the people, you know, not just the game, it's the people. Everybody is happy, you know, everybody happy to play with you. That's why I'm so happy. I love it, and I think people need to come here and get this new experience, because we in South America, we don't have this kind of experience, you know.
It was my first paragliding experience ever. And at first I was a little scared, but when it started, I felt super safe because the coach is very experienced. I asked, he has over 10 years of experience. So I felt amazing and super excited because the views, the scenery is just super extraordinary, amazingly beautiful. Everything is so green, a lot of mountains and rivers and lakes. It's super, super exciting. For sure, I will come back and bring friends. Tonglu is super beautiful, guys.
Still to come on Global Business. Tariff battle. 25 US states are taking the Trump administration to court over sweeping tariffs on 60 trading partners, seeking to halt the levies and recover duties already paid.
A vast land of 1.4 billion people. The world's second largest economy. Home to stories of the unexpected, the unimaginable, the breathtaking. Stories that touch the soul. Feel the speed, the passion. Enjoy spectacular natural and cultural landscapes. Feel the thrill of cutting-edge innovations. Discovering China. Global Biz. China Travel. We present a China never seen before. 24/7 at your fingertips.
The Trump administration is facing renewed legal action over its latest round of global tariffs. A coalition of 25 US states is suing over new tariffs on goods from 60 trading partners. The complaint, filed with the US Court of International Trade, seeks to block the tariffs, declare them unlawful and secure refunds for duties already paid. The states argue the administration has improperly used Section 301 of the Trade Act to recreate tariffs previously rejected by federal courts. The White House denies this, claiming Section 301 remains a legally durable tool for addressing practices that burden US commerce. Meanwhile, trade negotiations between the United States and Mexico continue after President Trump extended the deadline for a deal for another 90 days. Yet many Mexican businesses are already experiencing the economic impact. CGTN's Alistair Baverstock reports.
Mexico City, where Ana Lilia Herrera has run her dressmaking business Costumodas since 2022. However, 2026 has been a struggle when it comes to sourcing the fabrics and textiles she needs for her work.
30%. Fabric prices have risen by around 30%, but the biggest problem is quality. I pay more money and receive an inferior product. Pero en la calidad ya es más bajita.
Textiles are more difficult to source for this micro-business due to tariffs. This year, under pressure from the US, Mexico imposed higher tariffs on imports from non-free trade agreement countries, hitting more than 1,400 products, from textiles to steel. The impact is being felt throughout the global supply chain, particularly by wholesalers supplying thousands of small businesses across Mexico.
En México ya no se producen textiles.
Mexico doesn't produce enough textiles, so 90% of our stock is imported, primarily from the Middle East. The tariffs have raised import costs by around 35%.
35%.
Almanza says the current difficulties have led him to import goods through the US, increasing costs but avoiding Mexican customs, which he says can't keep up with the constantly changing regulations. President Trump may have given negotiators another 90 days to reach a broader trade agreement, delaying the threat of higher US tariffs on Mexico. But behind the scenes, Washington is still pushing Mexico to tighten its own trade policies, meaning businesses here may yet face further changes in the months ahead. Luis Rosano was involved in negotiations for the US-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, during President Trump's first term, and says his country still tries to tread the middle ground.
The US is our biggest partner. On the other hand, we also want to have equilibrium and invite other, countries. We will do our best in trying to make an equilibrium between our own interest and how reality is, approaching to us.
For now, the extension gives Mexico and the United States more time to negotiate. Many businesses already coping with higher costs. Uncertainty due to changing trade regulations remains the biggest challenge. Alistair Baverstock, CGTN, Mexico City.
There's no end in sight to the extreme heat wave in many countries in the Northern Hemisphere. In the UK, precipitation in July is only 35% of the average of recent years. Southern England has recorded its driest month since 1836. Wildfires have also continued across Europe. In Spain, the area affected by wildfires this year is more than 5 times that of the same period last year. Gironde wildfire in southwest France is the most severe since 1949. Germany's Rhine River is facing record low water levels, disrupting one of Europe's busiest inland shipping routes. That's forcing up prices, as Natalie Carney reports from the German town of Kaub.
The Kaub water gauge is one of the Rhine River's most closely watched points. At its shallowest, low water levels here force vessels to reduce their loads to avoid running aground, pushing freight onto roads and rail and driving up costs.
Nearly everything moving inland from the port of Rotterdam travels through this stretch of the River Rhine, meaning that just a few centimeters of water loss can ripple through supply chains serving factories across Europe.
The town's mayor says he's never seen the river this low.
Kalb ist quasi ein Richtwert.
The Kalb gauge serves as a benchmark for ships travelling from the lower Rhine to places like BASF. These companies, refineries and the like, receive many of their raw materials by ship, so they load their vessels based on the Kalb gauge reading. The less cargo they can carry, the more expensive everything becomes. Ultimately, everything gets pricier.
Industries including steel, chemicals, energy and manufacturing are among the hardest hit.
Der mittlere Wasserstand.
At this time of year, water levels usually sit well above 2 meters, but weeks of drought and persistent heat have reduced it to historic lows of 25 centimeters.
Shipping traffic has dropped significantly due to these low water levels. First, the river cruise ships suspended operations, followed by the larger cargo vessels. Now, only relatively small cargo ships are operating, and transport volumes are very low. The flow of goods has to adapt, and in worst-case scenario, production does too.
And it has been, but at far smaller volumes, more slowly, and at much higher prices. Freight costs on this stretch of the Rhine have more than doubled since last June, with some operators imposing low-water surcharges of more than $1,000 per container.
Also bei normalem Wasserstand?
Under normal water levels, a Rhine barge can carry around 500 containers. Currently, that capacity is down to just 20%, meaning only 100 containers. That leaves 400 containers sitting idle somewhere, while the 100 that can be transported become much more expensive to ship.
Meanwhile, trucks, trains and additional barges cannot fully make up for the lost river freight capacity. There are plans to deepen the Middle Rhine by an additional 20 centimeters, but the project isn't expected to be completed until 2033. Unlike previous major low-water events, these conditions have arrived in the middle of summer, raising fears that distribution could continue for weeks or even months. Natalie Carney, CGTN, in Kalb.
That is all for this edition of Global Business. I'm Lincoln Humphreys in Beijing. You've been wonderful company. We'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.